original songs. This is called Grow. Got in my car and rolled my windows down, sang a song. I needed to feel the sound. It's been a long week with changes I didn't see, but I can't be melancholy, 'cause joy is natural. It's natural to me, so I release all despondency into the breeze, into the melody, turn to peace, right into freedom. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, no, 'cause you must grow, go within, 'cause you must grow. The world seems lost, don't be afraid, though I feel helpless, it'll be okay. Too many hurt, but don't you run away, no, no. Too many being selfish, don't you be selfish. Deep down in my core, I know, I can feel it, that we can do more, to remind us all, don't you forget, no, that we were born for freedom, freedom. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, no, you must grow, go within, 'cause you must grow, just go within, yeah. Don't stop, oh, don't stop, no, you must grow, go within, 'cause you must grow, just go within, yeah, you must grow, just go within, 'cause you must grow, you must grow. Hey, yeah, oh, sing, dance, cry, laugh, do, be you. Sing, dance, cry, laugh, do, be you. Sing, dance, cry, laugh, do, be you. Just be you, just be you, just sing and dance and cry and laugh and do, just be you, just sing, just dance and just cry, just laugh, just do, just be you. Dance, cry, laugh, do, be you. Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. I'll turn off some of this reverb. Good morning. Thank you guys so much for being here with me this morning and tuning in for the Soul Music Jam session from Strathmore. And you can join us here every Saturday at 10:15 a.m. on Strathmore's Facebook page and for the family jam sessions. And you can also tune in Wednesday nights at 7:30 p.m. for short live from the living room concerts. And all these events feature musicians from Strathmore's Artists in Residence program. Okay? And make sure that you tune in at the very end of this session if you have any questions, because there will be a short question and answer period. And my name is Cecily, and I am an independent artist based in Washington, D.C., from Washington, D.C., and I do soul music or R&B or jazz sometimes. But today we're going to be talking about soul music. So, what is soul music? Well, soul music is a style of music that was developed by African Americans in the 1950s and 1960s. And the word soul comes from the spirit and the passion that all the musicians put into soul music. So soul music comes from your soul. Makes sense, right? So, like a lot of different things that come out of America, soul music is a mixture of things. So if we think about soul music and we have a mixing bowl, right? So there's lots of different things we're going to throw in this mixing bowl in order to get soul music, all right? So one of the first things we have to throw in this mixing bowl to get soul music is gospel music or spirituals. So what is gospel music? So gospel music is a type of music that you play in churches, and spirituals in particular are very important music that are sung in especially Baptist churches, African Methodist Episcopal churches, Kojic churches, all types of churches, specifically Black American churches. And so I'm just going to sing a little bit of one of my favorite spirituals as an example, okay? So, this song I'm going to sing for you is called Precious Lord, and it's one of my favorite spirituals, and it goes like this. I'm going to give myself some reverb. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, help me stand. So that's a little bit of Precious Lord, okay? So that's one thing we're going to throw in this mixing bowl that is soul music, okay? Another thing we're going to throw in this mixing bowl is called blues. And blues is another African American art form or style of music that came from Africa, all right? That started in Africa. So what can blues, I'm just going to improvise a little blues for you guys today, all right? So let's see, what can I sing? Let's see. Woke up this morning with something on my mind. Oh, yeah, yeah. Said I woke up this morning with something on my mind. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, yeah. Said I've been thinking about doing this session with y'all, and I've been giving it all of my time. All right, so that's a little bit of an example of the blues. All right, so we have this mixing bowl that is soul music. So we threw gospel music in there. We threw the blues in there. Let's see, what else gets us soul music? So there's another type of music called rock and roll that developed around the same time as soul music. So let me see. Rock and roll is really dance music, okay? But I'm just going to give you a little bit of a song called Johnny Be Good, which is sung by a very famous musician named Chuck Berry. All right. And I don't really know the words that well, but hopefully I don't stumble over them. All right. So this is a little example of rock and roll. Deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans, way in the wood amongst the evergreens, there stood an old cabin made of earth and wood, where lived a boy named Johnny Be Good, that never ever learned to read and write so well, but he could play guitar just like a ringing bell. Say, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, go, hey, Johnny Be Good. All right, so that's a little bit of rock and roll. So what do we have in this mixing bowl that is soul music? We put some gospel in there. We put some blues in there. We sprinkled some rock and roll in there, okay? And the last thing that helps soul music develop is just innovation. So what is innovation? Innovation is when people make something new, when they sprinkle their own special magic on it and make it into something totally different. And so all of the musicians and singers that created soul music in the 1950s and 1960s, they took all these elements of gospel and blues and rock and roll, and then they took their own special magic and they innovated it. All right? So now I want to talk a little bit about soul music vocal technique. All right? So in classical music and classical Western music, we a lot of times think about singers as singing very pretty, beautiful, right? And they sing almost like this. Okay? Now, when you're singing soul music, all right, when you're pulling something out of your heart, pulling something out of your soul, it might not always sound pretty. Okay? And so when we're talking about soul music vocals, you might hear lots of different things that you might not describe as pretty, but help bring the soul and the passion to the music. All right, so in soul music, you might hear people growl or moan or yell. All right, so how about this? I'm going to do some examples of different things that people might do in soul music vocals, and you guys are going to repeat after me. Is that okay? Okay, great. So we're just going to use the word soul, all right? So if we're going to growl, how might we do it? I might go, soul! All right, you guys try it. Your turn. Go. Yes, good job. All right, so we might have to moan a little bit too. So let's see. Let's try on the word soul. Soul! All right, you go. Your turn. Go ahead and moan for me. Good. All right. Now maybe we yell a little bit. Okay. So, let's see on the word soul still. Okay. So we're gonna yell. We're gonna go soul. Woo. Your turn. Go ahead and yell. Good. 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 So those are all different things that you might hear in soul music, right? In soul music vocals. Okay, so what we just did there is an example of call and response, all right? So call and response is one of our vocab words for today, all right, or phrases. And call and response is a technique that started in Africa, all right? And it's a musical element that's used in a lot of African American musical forms, including soul music. All right. So call and response is when I say something and then you repeat after me. All right. So it involves when one person says or yells or growls or moans something, right? And a group of people or one person responds. So I wish I had somebody here who could help me demonstrate what soul music is. Oh my gosh, guys, it sounds like we have a visitor. Who is that? Come on in.
Hi, Cecily.
Oh my goodness, guys, look who it is. It's my mom.
Hi.
My mom came to help us out today. All right, this is so fun. All right, so Mommy, you know what call and response is, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you think we can demonstrate a little bit?
A little bit.
Okay, so I think we're going to try to use a song that both of us know and love as an example of call and response. All right, so you know the song What I'd Say by Ray Charles?
Oh, yes.
Yes, you taught it to me, right? We grew up listening to it. Okay, I'm going to give us some reverb so we sound, ooh, now we sound fancy. All right, there we go. So let's see. I'm going to give you something to sing from the Ray Charles song, and you're going to respond after me, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to be the call, and you're going to be the response. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Oh.
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 Tell me what I say.
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 Woo! Yes, that was so good, Mommy. Oh, wait. We want us to try it. We want them to try it with us.
Okay,
Yes.
that'd be
Do you guys think you could do it with us now? Do you think you know the song well enough? It's really simple, right? Okay, so we're going to do it one more time. We're going to do the same exact thing. And you can go and listen to this song later. This is called What I'd Say by Ray Charles. All right, you ready, Mommy?
I'm ready.
Okay, so you guys are going to sing Mommy's part now. Her actual name is Sherry. Her name is not Mommy. This is my mother, Sherry. All right, so you guys ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh,
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 oh. Tell me what I say.
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 Yes! Everyone give my mother a round of applause. Thank you, Mommy. Thanks for stopping by to help me describe call and response. All right. Wasn't that fun, guys? We had a visitor this morning. I'm so happy about that. So, now you guys should have a good idea of what call and response is, right? Does everyone feel like they know what call and response is? I think so. So, now we're going to talk about soul music rhythm, okay? So, in soul music, rhythm is very, very important, okay? So, most songs are in what we call 4/4, meaning that there are 4 beats in a bar, okay? So, let me just demonstrate. I'm just going to count, and you guys are going to count with me, all right? So, we're going to count 4, and then 4 again, and then 4 again. So, I'm going to start, and you join me, okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. That's simple, right? Okay, so that's how we count the music, right? When it's in 4/4, we count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, in soul music, there's certain accents that are on those 4 beats, and we put the accents on the 2 and the 4. Okay, meaning if you're listening to the music, you might hear the drummer play the snare drum on the 2 and the 4. And you might see people in the audience clapping on the 2 and the 4. All right, so now we're going to count, and then we're going to start clapping as well. And you guys are going to do it with me. All right, so ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Here's the clapping. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Feel the beat. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay, so now we're going to try it with a song. All right. So this is one of my songs. This song is from my first album, and it's called Heaven in Your Eyes. All right. So this is an example of kind of a modern R&B song, but it has a lot of elements of soul music. All right. So I'm going to play the song, and I'm going to start by counting, and I want you guys to count with me. We're going to count out the beats. All right. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to start clapping on the 2 and the 4. All right. And you guys are going to clap with me. So this is Heaven in Your Eyes. Oh, baby. You guys feel the beat? Yeah. All right. You ready to start clapping? We're going to clap, all right? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Let's clap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Keep going. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to stop counting, but we're going to keep clapping, okay? Let's go. You feel the beat? 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. Good job, everyone. Good job. Okay, so did you feel the accents? All right, on the 2 and the 4. So that's where the accents happen. in soul music on the 2 and the 4. That was great. Good job, guys. All right, so now I want to talk about another really important element of soul music, and it's called a breakdown, okay? So, what is a breakdown? That's another one of our vocab words for today. All right, so breakdown is one of our vocab words. We have call and response, and we have breakdown. So, what is a breakdown? So, in soul music, you might hear a lot of different instruments, okay? So, you might hear a guitar, all right? You might hear a piano, you might hear an organ, you might hear the drums, you might hear percussion, all different types of things. The bass, right? We have so many instruments that we use in soul music. But in a lot of soul songs, you'll hear a moment in the song where most of the instruments stop playing, okay? And we call that the breakdown. So when you have a breakdown, most of the instruments stop playing and you're left with just a few. Now, sometimes you're left with just the drums. Sometimes you're left with just the drums and the vocals. Sometimes you're left with just the bass, all right? So, dum, 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 right? That was a little Stevie Wonder. That was the first bass line that came to mind. So, you might just be left with just 1 or 2 instruments or just the vocals still going, all right? So, that's what we call a breakdown. So, now we're going to listen to a moment in the song I just played called Heaven in Your Eyes that has a breakdown in it. And I wonder if you guys can hear when it happens. And I'm going to give you a hint. What happens is that only the bass and the vocal keeps going, all right? So let's see if we can hear when that moment happens in the music and listen in on it, all right? So let's listen to Heaven in Your Eyes one more time. We're not going to clap. We're just going to listen and see if you can hear when it's just the bass and the vocal that remain. Now, the vocal's not going to be my vocal. It's going to be a rapper named Tabby Bonet, okay? But let's take a listen.
Heaven in my mind. Don't you know that you are everything I want? Just like heaven, just like heaven, just like heaven.
Keep listening.
Just like heaven, just like heaven. You're just like heaven to me. You're just like heaven to me.
Hop in the sky with it. Tapping in Cecily, go ahead and ride with it.
You guys hear that? You hear that
Love
bass?
is what we speak of. PDA and all day and hugging me up. She is like an angel. I knew off
Oh, now
break
the other
fake like
instruments
an
are
ain't
starting to
no.
come back in.
You know I be playing love every day. You are all that I could think of.
So, did you hear what happened there? All right, so we had lots of instruments playing, and all of a sudden, it was just the bass line and the rapper. And then slowly, all these other instruments started to come back in. So you heard the piano come back in, then you hear the guitar. Okay, so let's listen one more time to the same thing. And I want you to ask yourself, what is the purpose? What is the purpose of this breakdown? Okay, so when we listen, ask yourself, what is it doing here? Why would we have all the instruments drop out? If we're playing a song together, why would we have all the instruments stop playing and only a few keep playing? All right, so let's listen one more time and see if we can figure out why that happens.
But you are everything I want. Just like heaven, just like heaven, just like heaven, just like heaven, just like heaven. You're just like heaven to me. You're just like heaven to me.
Hop in the sky with it. Tapping in Cecily, go ahead and ride with it. Love is what we speak of. PDA and all day and hugging me up. She is like an angel. I knew off the break fake like I ain't no. You know I be playing love every day. You are all that I could think of. I knew you hit.
All right, so now we listen again. I wonder if anyone has an idea of why we do a breakdown. So all the instruments drop out and then they come back. So why would we do that? I'll give you the answer. It's to build the excitement, right? So if all of a sudden the instruments fall out, it catches your attention. You're like, oh, there's something happening here. And especially if something groovy like a bass line, right? It makes you want to dance. It makes you want to move your hips. It makes you want to clap your hands, right? And then slowly, in this song, slowly all the instruments build back up. And then it gets more and more exciting, right? Because you're like, oh yeah, now everything's coming back. And if the instruments come back one at a time, you can really hear them, right? You can hear when the piano comes in. You can hear when the guitar comes in. And it's so exciting to hear all of those things coming back into the music. So the reason why we do a breakdown, guys, remember that word, is because we want to build the excitement in the music. Does that make sense to everybody? Good. So I have one more thing I want to talk about before we get to our final song, okay? So we're talking about soul music today. So I couldn't talk about soul music and not mention this very one enormous important figure in soul music. She is called the Queen of Soul, and her name is Aretha Franklin. Okay, so I wanted to play a specific Aretha Franklin song for you today, but Facebook has certain guidelines on playing copyrighted music, which I totally understand. So since I can't play the song for you, I'm just gonna talk about Aretha Franklin a little bit because she was so important. So the songs we listen to today are my songs, but I'm also influenced by Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul. All right, so I want you guys to remember all these vocab words I'm throwing at you. So we had call and response, we had a breakdown, and now we have Aretha Franklin, who is also the Queen of Soul. And she was so central in the development of soul music. Through her singing, she had a very unique style of singing that she got from singing in her father's church in Detroit, okay? And we talked about at the beginning, remember our mixing bowl? We threw church music, gospel music in there. So you know that her influences of growing up in the church definitely impacted what she brought to soul music. But she wasn't only a singer, she was also a piano player. And her style of piano playing, which was also heavily influenced by gospel music, was very influential in how soul music developed and how shaped what soul music became. All right. So now I just want to sing a little bit of an Aretha Franklin song, just a little bit. It's one of my favorite ones. I'm just going to sing it a cappella for you guys. Okay. And this is a song that really blends that gospel element with that rock and roll element. It really is the epitome of soul music, and it makes you want to dance. So I encourage you to go listen to this song later. It's called Rock Steady, and it's by Aretha Franklin. So this is Rock Steady, okay? Rock steady, baby. I'm going to give myself some reverb. There we go. Rock steady, baby. That's what I feel now. Let's call this song exactly what it is. Step and move your hips with a feeling from side to side, yeah. Sit yourself down in your car and take a ride while we're moving rock steady, baby. Let's call this song exactly what it is. It's a funky and low-down beat, yeah. Move your hips from left to right. What it is I might be doing this funky dance all night. Oh, yeah. All right. So that's a little bit of Rock Steady. And I want you guys to go listen to that one by yourselves later. So we have all our vocab words today, right? We had Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul. We learned about a breakdown. We learned about call and response. And we learned about soul music rhythms, okay? So I'm going to sing one final song for you guys. And while I'm singing this song, I want you to listen for the soul music vocal technique that I talked about. I want you to listen for the call and response. I want you to clap on the 2 and the 4. And I want you to listen for if there's a breakdown. All right? And I also want you to dance and have a good time. And lastly, right after this song, I'm going to do some questions. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments section and I will get to them after this song. So this last song is my song and it's called Don't Hide the Sun. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's have a good time together. Yeah. Don't hide, sun. It feels so good on my face. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Head resting on the cloud grass in between my toes, stretched out into myself. I just wanna be here with you, right here, right now. Oh, 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 oh yeah. Don't hide the sun. It feels so good on my face. Yeah. Don't hide the sun. It feels so good on my face. Here's our breakdown. Won't run from myself today. Won't run from myself today. Won't run from myself. No, 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 no. Won't run from myself today. Won't run from myself today. Won't run from myself. Hey, don't hide the sun. It feels so good on my face. Yeah, don't hide the sun. Doesn't it feel so good just to be alive? Right here, right now, just to be alive. Right here. So this is a call and response, right? Just to be alive. You guys say, right here, right now. Yeah, just to be alive. Right here, right now. Come on, sing with me. Just to be alive. Right here, right now. Oh, just to be alive. Oh, just to be right here, right now, right here, right now, right here, right now, right here, right now. Thank you guys so much. It feels so good to be here with you guys on this beautiful Saturday morning, right here, right now. So let's take some of those questions, all right? So I saw that someone asked me, who's my greatest musical or vocal influence? So let's see. There's so many. But I have to say my greatest influences are really what I grew up listening to as a kid, while listening to what my parents played, which was my mom played a lot of Motown, my dad played a lot of jazz, and my sister played a lot of 90s R&B, a lot of 80s R&B. So some of the people I grew up listening to that I really connected with were Minnie Riperton, Stevie Wonder, Phyllis Hyman, Faith Evans, Shaka Khan. These are some of my favorite artists growing up. I think that, did we have a disconnection issue? Okay, I think we're good. So what inspires me as a singer is that I just love the way it feels to sing. I don't know if you can tell that while I'm singing, but I just love the way it feels. I love how the vibration moves through my body. It's very healing to sing, and so I like to do it all the time. So that's really what inspires me. So Betty asked, we heard your mom sing. Are other members of your family musical? That's a great question. So that's funny that you say that, because my mom, I don't know if you've ever sang in front of other people, have you? No. So give it up for my mom for singing in front of other people, singing in front of the internet today. Yes, give it up for my mom. Thank you for that, Mommy. Other members of my family musical. Well, my mom played the flute in high school. My dad played the trumpet in high school. My sister is a wonderful dancer and she's a singer. My brother is a visual artist, graphic designer, and also does music production. So I think I'm one of the only singers in my family. I do hear that my grandmother had a beautiful singing voice. I never actually got to hear her sing, but yeah, I grew up around lots of art, lots of artwork, like what's on the walls behind me, lots of visual art, plays, theater, dance performances. So I was always surrounded by art, definitely. All right. So do we have any other questions before we end for the day? How did I learn to scat? Okay, I have a question. How did I learn to scat? Oh, goodness. I can't even say that I learned. I really just started doing it. I really just started messing around and having fun with it. And that's kind of how I learned to do it. There was really nothing. I did study other people. So I studied the great scatters like Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan. And I mean, there's so many people that do it much better than me. But I naturally had an inclination to do it. And so I just started doing it until I got better at it. That's usually how most things work. So how did I learn to sing? Okay, so this will be our last question of the day. How did I learn to sing? That's a wonderful question. And that's from my niece, Zahara. Thank you for tuning in, Zahara. So, how did I learn to sing? Well, I asked my mom if I could take voice lessons when I was 12 years old because I just love how it felt to sing. And so that's what I started doing. And my parents were gracious enough to pay for my voice lessons all through high school and college, and I studied classical voice. So I also did gospel choirs. I was in all the choirs. I was in soul music, a cappella groups, and pop a cappella groups, and I was in concert choirs and, classical choruses, and I just sang as much as I could. It was like my main extracurricular. I didn't actually study music in school. My degree is in political science, but I decided I wanted to be a singer after I graduated, and that's what I've been doing ever since. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We did have one more question. Am I working on another album? Yes, I am. So I currently have 3 projects that are out right now. You heard music from 2 of them today. My first project is self-titled Cecily. My second one is called Songs of Love and Freedom. That last song I sang called Don't Hide the Sun is from Songs of Love and Freedom. And I also have a new project called Awakening Part 1 that I put out last year. And I'm working on Awakening Part 2. So as soon as we're out of quarantine, I'm going to be going into the studio to work on that project. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I want to thank Betty Scott for having me today and all of the team at the Strathmore. Give them a round of applause for all the hard work they do to make this programming happen for us. And you can learn more about the Strathmore's Artist in Residence program and how to support it at strathmore.org/AIR. And I'm a Strathmore Artist in Residence from 2018. It's an amazing program, and you should definitely support it if you can. You can come back next Saturday at the same time, that's 10:15 a.m. on this Facebook page, to hear The Rhythms of Brazil with Lucas Ashby. So this is another Discover Music Jam session, Rhythms of Brazil with Lucas Ashby. That's next Saturday at 10:15 a.m. And you can find me, Cecily, at my website, which is cecilymusic.com, or you can find me on Instagram. I'm on there a lot, and probably more than I should be. You can find me on Instagram at Cecily Alexa, which is spelled CECILYALEXA. And lastly, you can find all of my music, all my albums, all my original stuff on Apple Music, on Spotify, on YouTube, on Pandora. Wherever you like to listen to music, you can find my music there. Just search my first name, Cecily, which is spelled CECILY. And I want to thank you guys again so much for being here today. We learned all about soul music, all the elements that go into it. We learned about call and response. We learned about a breakdown. We learned about the soul music rhythms. We learned about soul music vocal techniques. And you guys were nice enough to sing along with me. So thank you so, so much. And thank you to the Strathmore. You guys have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye-bye.